Are your Facebook, Instagram ads not working anymore? In this video, I'm going to show you what you need to be doing in order to actually generate leads through online marketing. Let's go. Hey everybody, my name is Jennifer Waters and I'm the founder of 7-Figure Dojo. We actually help school owners turn their passion into profit. And I'm standing inside my own $1 million school. We actually took this school from making a few $1,000s a month to making over $1 million a year and have been doing it for the last 14 years and counting. And what I want to show you guys today is what we learned to market our school online and how you can do the exact same thing through Facebook and Instagram ads. So I'm going to give you the step-by-step, the ins and outs. You do not want to move. Get something out so you can take notes because it's time for school. Do you know why we have so many different types of retail items? Like we got these really cool gloves, we've got mugs and drinks, we've got hoodies, we've got t-shirts, we've got all kinds of crazy things. You know why we do that? Because every single month inside of our $1 million school, we make around $4,000 to $5,000 a month alone in retail, sometimes even more than that. How do we do it though? Because we constantly have a variety, a mix of things. Now, hold on, you might be going, why in the world are we talking about retail when we should be talking about ads? Because I want you to get the concept. The human eye wants to see something different all the time. And so one of the mistakes I learned hard way a long time ago is that you must change your creatives. You must change up what the people are seeing online. If you have the same ad and you run it for a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and on, you are going to be in a position where people are going to go, oh, I've seen this before, and scroll right past it. Every single week inside my school, this display table actually gets changed. We put different items out. We show different things because we know that when people are coming in the door, they're going to get used to seeing it and they're going to start ignoring it. And that is what happens with your ads too. You've got to constantly change up the creatives. I'm going to tell you how often you should change them up a little bit later in this video. But for right now, what I want you to think about is I want you to think about what should I do to get some fresh looking creatives, some fresh looking ads out there in front of everyone. And if you're thinking I should boost the post, don't do it. Do not boost the post. I'm also going to tell you about that in just a moment. Okay, but why not boost posts, Jen? Because when you boost a post, you're wasting your money. Literally, you are telling Facebook and Instagram, hey, I think this post that I just made looks cool, but let's give it out to the whole entire community. But it's not telling Facebook and Instagram the thing that you actually want. And the thing that you actually want are leads. So if you want a lead, you need to use a lead generation form. You need to create a form through Facebook and Instagram's online ads manager and collect that information online, name, phone number, email address, so that you can then follow up with that person immediately instead of just waiting for the phone to ring or for someone to land on your website, which by the way, you have no way of tracking if someone goes to your website from your Facebook or Instagram ad if you boosted the post. Because again, boosting the post literally takes the post that you've created and it just sends it out into the community and you're sitting there hoping and waiting and wondering if the ad was actually effective. Once we take that ad and we put it into the ads manager inside Facebook and Instagram, now we're actually able to see metrics. We can literally see how much money that we've spent across a certain amount of time and how many leads were produced from that particular ad, how high the cost per lead was, so we can make sure that we're acquiring students profitably and not going in the hole by spending too much money to get a student in the door. Speaking of money, if you're thinking to yourself, how much money should I be spending on Facebook and Instagram on a regular basis? This answer might shock you, but probably something that you need to hear. You've got to be spending at least $1,000 a month on the actual platform, Facebook and Instagram, in order to get actual really good, like students coming in the door, you're blowing up your school result. If you want 1 student, 2 students a month from Facebook or Instagram ads, you can spend a couple $100 on it. The problem with spending a couple $100 on it is that it actually doesn't give the AI machine, which is really what Facebook and Instagram is. It's AI. It's working across an algorithm to bring your ideal leads, your ideal students to you. It doesn't give Facebook and Instagram enough fuel to figure out who those people are. So it's kind of like, imagine putting someone in a vehicle that was blind and asking them to drive across the busiest street ever and turn left. They're probably going to hit something and not be able to function very well. And that's kind of the same thing that happens with Facebook and Instagram ads when you don't give it enough fuel. You don't give it enough to be able to look across the whole entire community and bring you the right leads. Why? $1,000 a month typically does it to get you started, and then from there you can escalate beyond that. Now, I told you earlier, you need to be mixing up your creatives. You need to be doing things that are different. You could be utilizing actual pictures and images from your school. You could also be utilizing AI generated images. Those are working really well at the time of recording this video. And you could also be using video creative as well to be able to capture the perfect moment that gets somebody to stop scrolling and click on it. The thing is that doing this at scale is going to cost you not only money, we already talked about that, but it's going to cost you a lot of time as well. Because in order for you to effectively run your ads, you're going to need to spend several hours a week dedicated to only understanding how the ads work, changing out the ads, and looking through all the ads to determine which ones you should keep running and which ones you should turn off. Because by the way, if you're not running like 7 to 10 different ad creatives, probably not running ads effectively. So 7 to 10 different ads creatives would mean that I'm running a different version of the ad to see which one is actually landing in my community. And you should be changing those out at least every 2 to 3 days if those ads are not effective. There's no reason for you to continue to dump more and more money into something that's actually not working. That is why I would highly suggest you either get help doing this, like somebody in your school that actually knows how to do this and someone who can dedicate hours and hours of time to doing this thing, or you bring on a company just like mine, 7-Figure Dojo. They can help you run these ads on your behalf. And also we have the benefit of running our own school, so we know what types of ads actually need to be in front of your ideal student to bring them in the door. So in order for you to actually run very successful ads for your martial arts school, you're gonna need the following things in this order. Number 1, a budget. Make sure that you have enough money to spend on Facebook and Instagram so the ads will actually be effective. Number 2, you're gonna need some really eye-catching creatives and graphics, something that's gonna get someone to stop the scroll. Have a picture, have some AI-generated images, something like that, and maybe a couple of bullet points on top of that image to get someone to go, I'm gonna take a look at this, and I think that this might be a good idea for me to actually take a look at and dive into deeper. The third thing you're gonna need is some type of compelling offer that's on the actual text itself. So something that's calling out that ideal person, that student, that mom, that dad that should be coming and bringing their child to your classes and on your mats. You've gotta have some type of text there that really is helpful. I will say that utilizing tools like ChatGPT can be super helpful for doing that, but make sure that you don't just copy and paste directly from ChatGPT into the actual ad, because people just don't click on it nearly as frequently as if you put your own twist and your own spin on those words that are on there. And then the next thing that you're gonna need is make sure that please use a lead generation form ad. Don't send people to your website. Don't send people to a messenger type ad. You're gonna be wasting your money. Get their actual name and phone number and email. At least you have a chance of being able to contact them and getting them to come inside your school. And then finally, the other thing that I haven't talked about thus far is that you actually need a follow-up sequence, something that's gonna follow up on these leads as you generate them, because they are what we would consider a cold lead, somebody that hasn't actually figured out who you are. They've never had contact with you before, so they're gonna need a little bit of warming up. And that means you're gonna have to call them and call them and call them and call them or text them until they finally pick a phone, respond to the text, and say, yes, I'm ready to take that next step and come in for a lesson. So those steps right there are gonna help you create ads. But again, if this is something that you're like, whoa, this is just a lot, is there an easier way, a different way? Go to 7fdfacebook.com and join my free Facebook group where I show you ways that you can grow your martial arts school and be able to turn your passion into a profitable business. And I hope to see you there. Until next time, keep being awesome.